Okay. Okay.
Everybody likes to do damage, and don't pretend like you don't, because I know you're lying. Otherwise, why would you be playing an RPG with core mechanics such as leveling up, getting stronger, and looking fashionable as fuck? It's to do massive numbers on the other guys until their numbers are so small they match the PP size of anybody who doesn't commend at the end of a duty. The other members leaving too quickly is no excuse. How do you expect to move quick enough to avoid AoEs if you can't even move quick enough to tell your allies they're doing a great job and that their glamour is sexy?
This is moving very fast for me. The video is moving very quick for me. I feel like my brain is too slow to keep up with this.
That uncharacteristically nice of me? Maybe, but it means I get to steal the LB3 from the only melee in the group. Welcome to a crap guide to Final Fantasy.
Okay. Whew. Oh my god. This is a lot.
Today I'm going to be talking about every job.
Every
That's right.
job.
What, you thought only the DPS have to DPS? Boy, I could slap you with my overflowing glamour dresser. Damage is the name of the game in Final Fantasy XIV.
This is stressing me out. I feel really stressed. I feel like I'm being attacked. Okay, let's go.
And the entirety of the game is designed around everybody dealing it, including the tanks and the healers. If the DPS roles are contributing 60% of the damage, tanks and healers are the ones who fill in the other 40. So if you don't contribute, you belong in the garbage chute. So don't get so hung up on the role names. Everybody is a DPS.
Right,
what I mean
that is
specifically
true.
is that one, not only is FF14 a cooperative game, which means anytime you waste is not only yours, but also anybody else in your party as well. And two, every combat feature in FF14 is designed with dealing damage in mind. Healers and tanks get skills
they're
that
so
actively
cute.
promote doing more
Oh
DPS.
my god, look at the little bunny. Oh, he's so adorable. I love these.
Yes, hell, Sage is a healer whose skills actively benefit from doing DPS. And most
Wait,
importantly
wait,
of all,
wait, wait, wait,
Enrage. Importantly of all,
Wait.
is a healer whose skills actively...
Just look at some of these. Oh my goodness. This is there is some foul language in this video.
benefit from doing DPS. And most importantly of all, Enrage. Enrage is what happens when you overstay your welcome in a dungeon or boss arena and the residents have run out of things to talk about and are just really ready for you to leave so they can finally go poop without being worried that you're going to steal all their old DreamWorks DVDs. That is to say, you're either forcefully kicked out or alternatively, they instantly murder you. How do you prevent this from happening? You murder them first, of course, and then you pop in a copy of Shrek 2 so you can watch the castle siege again. And guess what? The later and later in the game you get, the more and more frequent Enrages...
Oh my god, really? Really? Okay.
start to appear. And they'll have more and more health too, so if somebody decides they just don't feel like they want to cooperate in this team game they decided to play, and now the boss has 1/8 of its health left and is about to destroy the entire universe, Princess Fiona isn't going to be the only one who will need a hero. Hopefully it's been drilled into your head now that DPSing is essential. Not just for the jobs with the title sticker, but also anyone in a fancy robe or edgy trench coat as well. Now that you know that, how does one go about dealing max deeps? The first most basic thing is to do your combos. Press a button.
Wait
See
a minute.
another button light up, press
Wait,
that
I thought this was a crap guide. Wait. It says this is a crap guide. This is real advice. This is actual advice. This is telling you how to do what?
Congratulations, you have successfully completed a combo. And doing so will reap a myriad of benefits, from putting damage over time on your target, gaining mana, doing your taxes, or any variety of other additional effects. But mostly, it all achieves the same goal of dealing more damage. Secondly, you want to press these skills that the game labels as abilities and the community calls off-global cooldowns, or OGCDs
Oh my gosh,
for
it's
short.
actual
More like
guide.
OGCDs nuts! I personally call them free damage buttons. They cost you nothing, and there's literally no reason not to press them while your normal cooldown is rolling. But this one has a long cooldown. What if I need it later? No, it doesn't. Shut up. The cooldowns in this game are so short you might as well press them, because by the time you need them again, whoop, they're back up. Not to mention, many jobs...
I'm the worst about that. I am the worst about not wanting to use my... especially if I'm on a job that I'm new to. If there's a big, strong ability that has a long cooldown, I'm like, oh, well, I better hold on to it. I might need it later. And then I end up missing out on several uses of it. I don't usually do that in a raid. Okay, why am I rambling?
Require you to press those free damage buttons to unlock even spankier damage buttons. So use your goddamn free damage buttons. It's free damage. The next rule of DPSing is knowing your ABCs.
This is a potty mouth guide to Final Fantasy.
Always be casting! This means mashing away at your keyboard like a tickle monster working double time. More specifically, it means that the best way to make sure you are doing the most damage that you can is to always have your global cooldown going, even if it means accidentally pressing the wrong skill like the single brain cell that you are. Because if you're always pressing buttons, even the suboptimal one, you are doing more damage than if you weren't. And doing damage is always better than not doing damage. Yes,
Wait.
Here's a live example with my is better than not doing damage. doing damage is always better than optimal one. You are doing more damage than if you weren't. And doing damage
Actually,
optimal one, you are doing
there's a
pressing the
problem.
wrong skill.
Actually, there's a problem here. So what's actually would be good is if, as you can see in the good example, the person is clicking the button right whenever it's like up already. All right, you see that? And they're like, wait a minute. They're waiting to press it till it's like up. Okay, that's not what you want to do. What you actually want to do, let me roll up my sleeves here so I can show you how it's done. So you want to you want to be like literally constantly pressing the button. Okay, like constantly pressing it so fast and so hard that you actually like you're hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself so that it will be as fast as possible. I don't have a training dummy. I don't have a training dummy, so I can't. But you see what I mean? You have to like. Okay, anyway, let's go. Sorry. Oh, what happened to the sound? Oh, I turned it off.
Yes.
That's my fault.
Pressing buttons, even the suboptimal one, you are doing more damage than if you weren't. And doing damage is always better than not doing damage. Yes, even Scathe. Here's a live example with my two subjects, Jan and Chloe. They both deal 1 million damage and suddenly the boss flies out of melee range. Jan sits there waiting patiently for the boss to return before she can start doing 1 million
He
damage.
looks like he's doing a pee-pee.
Again. Meanwhile, Chloe's pressing the deal 1 damage at a range button the entire time they're waiting. I ask you, puny viewer, which person is dealing more damage right now?
I don't really appreciate this tone, and you calling me puny and all this. I don't really appreciate that. Who's puny? I'm not puny.
But it's only 1 damage.
Who's dealing more damage?
As if any fight is going to get so close that dealing with...
Who is dealing more damage? Sure, it might not look like much, but it's going to matter when they fight the boss that has 3 million and 2 health and they wipe all because the other DPS decided they don't want to press buttons.
It's such little DPS, it won't make a difference.
Sure, Jan. Now, one of the best things you should do to improve your damage in Final Fantasy XIV is this. It's really simple. I want you to lean in. It's a super simple thing. Here, come
No,
close. I'm
I
gonna
don't
say
want
the thing.
to.
Are you
Stop.
ready? Okay, here it goes.
No.
Read your tooltips!
Ah.
The little block of text that literally tells you what your skills do. Honestly, you would be surprised how many people queue into an expert dungeon and never realize they have a skill that can attack multiple targets. Even all the things I tell you in this video, the combos, the range attacks, the AoE damage skills, the free damage buttons. The best way to know what your job is capable of is by reading your job skill tooltips yourself. So you better read your goddamn tooltips, because if I see another player not knowing about their AoE combo and a mob pull at level 80, I'm gonna grab the nearest aetheryte and bash you so hard you're gonna be teleported to the final resting place of every ERPer's used undergarments. With all that out of the way, you think I'd covered everything you need to do to be an ultimate clearing badass, right? Unfortunately, not Waffle Face, because the final
Don't threaten me with a good time.
responsibility every single role in Final Fantasy XIV shares is not dying. Oh sure, the healers help, but most of the time your own survival is on you and only you. And that means making sure you do the fight mechanics and don't take avoidable damage like it's got the cheese touch.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you in the middle of your cast? You want to try and hit that purple parse like the big man you are?
That's too damn bad! Each time you
Purple
take damage
parse?
that is avoidable, it means the healer has to heal you and they're dealing less damage. And on
Purple should be the bare minimum. I'm sorry.
top of that, you get this cheese puff called a vulnerability stack. For each stack you have, you take more and more damage
Gamer
until you get
point.
one shot when the enemy farts in your general direction. All this to say, if you
He's pee-pee and pooting.
don't avoid enemy damage, you will not only make the healer do less DPS, but you're also likely going to die, which means 0 DPS. And if you still think that's not a big deal and the healers can just res you, each time you die you get a dunce cap of shame that reduces your DPS even more for about as long as a red light in Philadelphia. So you better stay alive or else I'm gonna raise you so I can rescue you into an AoE and kill you myself. To recap, everybody's DPS matters. Press your free damage buttons.
Press
Always be
button.
casting. Read your tooltips. Stay alive. But even if you keep all those things in mind, the #1 rule to improve your DPS
don't
performance is to
understand.
practice. Striking dummies are all over the goddamn place, out in the overworld, and even in the yards of some random people's houses in the residential districts. So if you see one, there's no shame in whacking it a few times like you're auditioning to be a dominatrix. I'm sure the neighbors won't mind. Practice makes perfect, and even all the foresight in the world will not fully translate into the doing. So go and do that doing so that one day you too can do the do and make everybody else look like doo-doo because of how good your doing skills are. And with how much doing you'll be doing, maybe someday you too can clear an ultimate and get a shiny-ass weapon of your own to show off to people AFKing at the Limsa Aetheryte Plaza. Just
Oh,
know
here
the
we go. Yeah, you gotta. You can't finish the video for like, oh, perfect legend. Perfect legend,
doing
by the
skills
way.
are. And with how much doing you'll
By
be
the
doing,
way,
maybe
though.
someday you too can clear an ultimate and get a shiny-ass weapon of your
Alright,
own to show
alright.
off to people AFKing at the Limsa Aetheryte Plaza. Just know the difference between an amateur and a master is that a master has failed way more times. By the way, get ready for a party wipe. Wait, what? Congratulations, you're now better at the game than you were 5 seconds ago. Oh! And now you know how to
Really?
DPS, you're welcome.
Cool. Well, that was actually really fun. It was a lot for my brain to process because it talked very fast, and I'm like, I don't know. I guess I'm just don't have like my brain cell had to work in overdrive for me to process what was being said to me.
My queue just popped.
It was really cool, though. I mean, there was a lot of jokes in it. It was fun. It was a fun video. Wait, there's more?
No, one of the other party members withdrew. Ah, fuck.
Wow. Well, that was a journey. I did enjoy it. It was a lot of fun. I know I was memeing on it constantly, but that was fun. Oh, let me put the link in the chat so y'all can watch it too. But it said it was going to be a crap guide, and it was not crap. Like, I had some legit advice in there, so maybe some people will learn a thing or two. Learn a thing. You might learn some people something on there.